it's time to take a look at the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders is it's a pretty nice franchise. They've had some ups, they've had some downs, they've had some real downs, but they've never been one of my least favorite teams. I've always respected the Raiders and their way of playing. I've always liked their way of playing in the 80s. Those big bag Raiders that were able to just be disgusting and nasty and just literally kill you. Like they for some people for today's age they'd be dirty, but in my opinion that's just football. They were just playing football. Tough nose. They're just the fans are loud. The fans are loyal. It's fantastic. Anyway, Oakland, they got established on January 30th, 1960. So it's 57 years. Their first official season was 1960. And as of right now, they play in the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum in Oakland, California. And they're headquartered in Alameda, California. They were a part of the AFL. They eventually merged into the NFL. They were in the AFL from 1960 to 1969, and Western Division in 1960 to 69. They're part of the National Football League since 1970. They've been a part of the AFC since 1970, and they've been a part of the AFC West since 1970. Their colors are silver and black. Their fight song is called the Autumn Wind. As of right now, the owner, Mark Davis, he's the majority owner. The president is Mark Badan, general manager Reggie McKenzie, and the head coach Jack Del Rio. They've been the Oakland Raiders from 1960 to 1981, went to Los Angeles until 1982 to 1994, and back in Oakland since 1995. Possibly might be in Las Vegas soon. Who knows? Again, they have a lot of nicknames. Men in Black, Team of the Decades, the World's Team, Silver and Black. So yeah, they got some pretty nice names, some pretty hostile names. Yeah, they won an AFL championship back in 1967, which is pretty much the AFC championship. They went to Super Bowl II. They were part of Super Bowl II, and they lost to Green Bay. But they were pretty much one of those early guys, one of those early teams that got to the Super Bowl. They've won the AFC 4 times, in 1976, in 1980, in 1983, and in 2002. Looking at it, all those years, went to the Super Bowl, and they won 3 out of the 4 there. They lost in 2002, very big, to Tampa Bay. But they won 3 Super Bowls, one in 1976, Super Bowl 11, 1980, Super Bowl 15, and 1983, which is, I believe, is Super Bowl 18. Yeah, Super Bowl 18. They've won 15 division titles. The AFL West, they won from 67 to 69, and then the AFC West, they won in 70, and then 72 all the way to 76, and then 83, 85, 1990, 2000 to 2002. Been in the playoffs 22 times, in the AFL in 1967 to 69, in the NFL in 1970, 1972 all the way to 1977, 1980, 1982 to 1985, 1990, 1991, 1993, 2000 to 2002, and previously 2016. Home field, well, they played in Kazar Stadium in 1960, moved to Candlestick Park in 1961, then moved to Frank Eole Field 1962 to 1965, went to the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum 1966 to 1981, transitioned to Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum 1982 to 1994, and then went back to the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum in 95 and has stayed there. And plans for Las Vegas Stadium to be the Las Vegas Raiders planned for 2020. We'll see how that goes. All I know is the Raiders, the fans are loud, the fans are loyal. It hasn't been fantastic this year. There's definitely been high expectations, and it's kind of been a little bit downgraded there. But this is a team that can they're resilient, they can get back up, and I think they have the ability of possibly winning another championship. In my honest opinion, I think they're super close. Like, if they can get another one of those Oakland years, and Derek Carr can have another one of those years, I can see Oakland being in the Super Bowl, honestly. I can see them trying to contend for a 4th one. So Ken Stabler, rest in peace to him. Just an all-around awesome champion, a guy that just gave it his all,
and just fantastic guy. Just overall great. He is like a Mr. Raider pretty much. But then again, there's a lot of guys that are Mr. Raiders. That now that you think about it, but no. You look at Kent Stabler, Hall of Famer, 4-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro, 1-time Super Bowl champion, 1-time MVP. He's done it. He's done it in big games, and he's got the numbers to prove. But he's also got the experience, the Super Bowl championships, the everything. He's got a little bit of everything. So I think that in turn will be it's the start of a great thing for Oakland. Now the fullbacks gonna be Mark Van Eegen. Mark Van Eegen, guy that played pretty much through the 70s. He played through the 70s and the early 80s. A guy that he won 2 Super Bowl rings. He won one in 76 and he won one in 1980. Just overall fantastic guy. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for a football player. And a lot of these guys on the list that you will know, they're meant to be Raiders because they're tough. They also don't hold back, and they're aggressive. They're gonna get it done, no matter what. They're gonna get it done. They're gonna run over people. They're gonna stomp on people, and they're just gonna try to destroy them. It's just that that simple. And at fullback, it's a great choice for him. He's rushed for over 6,000 plus yards, and he's gonna be the blocker for one of the most premier running backs in NFL history. So yeah, watch out. And it's gonna be running back Marcus Allen. Running back Marcus Allen, Hall of Famer, 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, Super Bowl champion, and MVP. A guy that's he's rushed for over 12,000 yards, over 100 plus touchdowns. He's ran the ball over 3,000 times. This guy that's even had like 587 receptions. This guy that can do it all. This guy that can run it and receive. And he's won a Super Bowl. He's been there. He knows the experience. And like I said, one of the best of the best. And so yeah, to have him there, that's very big. So that's the start of sounding great. Right now it's amazing. You got 2 Hall of Famers already, and we're only 3 players in. Now, Kenny Stabler, he's going to need some weapons. And it all starts with Fred Biletnikoff, Hall of Famer, 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, won a Super Bowl championship back in the 70s. A guy that's had over almost 600 receptions in his career. A guy that's, he's got a Biletnikoff trophy named after him in college football. He did an amazing job in college, of course, but in the pros, people didn't really understand. He didn't do too bad. This was a guy that won Super Bowl MVP. This is a guy that was pretty valuable to his team. And I think Fred is going to be just that. He's going to be very valuable to his team. And they're going to win a lot of ball games. Just his name alone, his presence, he's able to make the best out of it. And again, he's played with Ken. So, they got a connection there. So you already could imagine what you think I'm going to be doing. I'm not tricking you. It's not going to be 2 tight ends. It's just going to be 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and of course fullback, running back. Since I put a fullback, I'm not going to do a 3 wide receiver set or anything crazy like that. But how about on top of that, on the other side, you're going to have Tim Brown, which is one of the best receivers of all time. Again, he's a Hall of Famer. He's also a 9-time Pro Bowler. He's a guy that's caught over 1,000 passes. He's a guy that's had 14,000 plus receiving yards. He's a guy that's had 100 receiving touchdowns. This is the ultimate weapon because it's Tim Brown. Tim Brown is the epitome of Mr. Raider. He's been a part of the Raiders organization his entire career. He just had 1 year in 2004 that he went to Tampa. This is a guy from the age of 22 all the way to the age of 37. This guy pretty much played in Oakland his entire career, and so everyone that's a Raiders fan know who Tim Brown is and respects his influence. Everything he's done for the game, everything he's done for the Oakland organization, and honest to goodness, this is scary because this team already is it's full of fighters and it's full of just strong-willed football players. How about tight end Todd Kristensen? Todd Kristensen, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 2-time Super Bowl champion. and a guy that's, well, this is a guy that played with the Oakland Raiders 10 years out of his 11 years. He started out in New York, went to Oakland, and, well, he did his thing. After that, he just started just going at it. There was a year where he had like 92 receptions, 1,247 receiving yards, and 12 touchdowns. There was another time where he had 95 receptions, 1,153 receiving yards, and 8 touchdowns. This is a guy that, yes, when he can, he's going to be incredible. Like if you get that guy, like that guy in his prime, like in those years, because there was times where he didn't have that, but if you can have that guy, that Todd Kristensen, that's scary, you know. So, yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat this team. They have a great running game and they have a fantastic offensive attack. So, great targets. Now, offensive line, of course, is important. How about starting off with left tackle Art Shell, which is by far one of the best left tackles in football, like history ever, period. Hall of Famer, 8-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 2-time Super Bowl champion, has been in Oakland his entire career, from 1968 to 1982. He started out there as a 22-year-old guy, ended out there, 36-year-old man, veteran, a guy that played 169 games that he started out of 207, and yeah, big dude. He's going to anchor that offensive line, and you haven't even seen the best out of this line. And yeah, Art Shell, though. Art Shell's scary. On top of that, you're going to have left guard Gene Upshaw, Hall of Famer, 7-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, 2-time Super Bowl champion. He played his entire career in Oakland. Another guy that played his entire career in Oakland. 200 plus games that he started. 200 games that he's played. Like I said, a guy that's, well, he's played in Oakland his entire career. Him and Gene Upshaw, yeah, they're gonna wreck some stuff up, man. They are going to. They know each other very well. Again, this is part of their line. This is part of that domination that they're about to bring. And yeah. All right, now the center. Well, under center is going to be center Jim Otto, aka Double O, aka Monster Beast, longtime Oakland Raider, well, forever Raider pretty much. 14 years, all 14 years in Oakland. A guy that was very reliable. 12-time Pro Bowler, 10-time All-Pro, Hall of Famer. By far, in my opinion, he should be listed as top 5 like best centers of all time. He's just, his consistency of play, the way he did it, fantastic. And like I said, I mean, he was at the time when Ken Stabler was there. It's a great connection they got. They all pretty much know each other from the line and the QB standpoint. So I'm expecting some fantastic football from them. Now, right guard, we're going to bring it back to a more modern time. Steve Wisniewski, a guy that played from 89 to 2001. Started in 206 games. Rarely got injured. Like, rarely got hurt. So that's something. Like, that's something that really should be taken notice to. 8-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, scary guy. Honestly, I believe that he should be a Hall of Famer, or at least in the debate for it. He brought that much passion. He brought a influence to the game, and he was fantastic for the careers he did. For the years he played. So you got to give him a nomination for that. But anyway, again, there's no weak link in this offensive line. I gotta say, right now, like, this is a pretty scary offensive line that I'm seeing. All right, and then finally at the right tackle position, overwhelming me, man. All these players are overwhelming me. 2-time Pro Bowler, 3-time Super Bowl champion, Henry Lawrence, played in the 70s and the 80s. Won at, the 76, 80, and 83. He's been a part of all 3 of them that Oakland has won. So that's pretty great. Again, experience, right? Has many starts, 140 plus starts. Again, experience. And a guy that I don't know if he'll ever be nominated for the Hall of Fame. Just because he's never been, he hasn't had the awards enough, like a Steve Wisniewski or like a Jim Otto, I guess. But this is a guy that, he's gonna do just fine. He's gonna hold his own, And honestly, I don't have a worry about this line at all.